You know I have a single income household with the two youngest ones. I know you have a double income household and your stuff is not as much as mine. It's not fair, bro.
Both parents are present, as you can see. It's the state's understanding that they are in disagreement with regard to upward modification of the child support previously set in 2014. The parties understand that the state is requesting that cash medical support be set in the amount of $79. Testimony will show that Mr. Davis has the child covered on government medical. For today, Your Honor, the state is actually requesting that this be a temporary order modifying support, either based on the mother's income, which would make guideline support $598. That's based on her income and other children on the case. However, Your Honor, if the court considers the circumstances of the parties and agrees to a deviation of any kind, the state's understanding is Mr. Davis would accept $350 in the interim. Ms. Moody is willing to join the NCP Choices program, and the state will defer to the court as to start date on the modification and when we come back to court, or how long you'll give on this matter.
All right, let's get some background information where I can see what we can do one way or the other on this matter. All right, Mr. Moody, Mr. Davis, please raise your right hands, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
Yes.
All right, you're both officially under oath, and I'll allow the state to proceed. Thank you.
Your Honor, the state calls Mr. Davis. Sir, what is your full name?
Elijah Davis.
Who is the child or children in this case?
Say again?
What are the names of the children or the child in this case?
Jazaria Moody and Jaquavion Moody.
How are you related to them?
My dad.
How old is each of these children?
One is 13 and one is 11.
And sir, who is the mother of these children?
Crystal Moody.
And sir, is it correct that the prior order in this case was back in 2014?
Correct.
And Miss Moody was ordered to pay you child support in the amount of $200 per month?
Correct.
And is it also correct, Mr. Davis, that Miss Moody was ordered to make those payments through the state disbursement unit?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
At this time, Your Honor, the state offers into evidence State's Exhibit 1, the financial activity report in this case.
All right, folks, I've got State's Exhibit number 1 right here. It shows what funds have been paid in child support through the state's disbursement unit in this case. Is there a legal reason that I should not be allowed to review this information, Ms. Moody?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Davis, any objection?
No.
All right, State's 1's admitted, and the state may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Davis, according to that document, it appears that Miss Moody has actually been paid ahead on most months in this case. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, sir, how do your children have health coverage?
Medicaid.
And how long has that been their coverage?
Since I
had them.
Since they've been born.
Ma'am,
Ms. Moody.
All right, ma'am, only one witness at a time. Sorry. Thank you. You may proceed.
And thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Davis, and is that coverage available through you or somebody else?
Through me.
Okay, sir. Were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
Yes.
And sir, as far as you're aware, has Miss Moody's income changed since that 2014 order was done?
I believe so, yes.
And sir, are you aware of her having other minor children besides these two?
Yes, ma'am.
How many others do you know of that are under the age of 18?
2.
Okay. And sir, were you in agreement that she joined the NCP Choices program?
I mean, I guess.
Okay. And then as far as changing the support amount, did you have a preference as to whether this court orders what guideline would be or if necessary, letting it be $350 in the meantime?
Yes, yes, 350 is fine.
Okay. And then, sir, as far as how much time we'd like to give Ms. Moody, do you have a preference as to when we come back to court to finalize?
No, I don't have a certain.
Okay. Was there anything else, sir, you wanted the court to consider at this time?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, I'll be back in a moment, Mr. Davis. Call your next witness, please.
Your Honor, the state calls Ms. Moody. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Mr. Moody, and I apologize for interrupting her later.
That's okay.
Thank you,
You don't know the rules, and it'll happen again with somebody else in the future. So don't worry about it, ma'am. Thank you.
Ms. Moody, how are you related to the two children with Mr. Davis?
I am their mother. I met him when I was 13 and he was 20.
And ma'am, is it correct that under the order from 2014, you were ordered to pay child support in the amount of $200 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
And all of your payments were supposed to come through the state disbursement unit, nothing direct to Mr. Davis?
What's that mean? Through child support? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
They automatically take it out. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so, ma'am, based on that payment record that the court admitted into evidence earlier, you understand that you've been doing very well with those payments and you've actually been paid ahead each of those months for a while now?
I understand.
Okay. And at this time, ma'am, well, it sounds like you were in agreement that the children have government medical through Mr. Davis.
Well, they have Medicaid. I mean, they get it when they first born. All you gotta do is make sure you keep renewing it. So they have Medicaid.
Okay. And for that reason, ma'am, you understand the state is requesting that you, the person who doesn't have the children or the Medicaid coverage, pay cash medical support of $79?
Yes, ma'am.
And at this point, ma'am, is it correct to say that you are employed?
Yes, ma'am. I'm at work right now.
Okay. And do you have two other minor children besides the two with Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Will either of those two children turn 18 in the next 3 years or so?
No, ma'am.
And were you aware of the child support numbers that my colleague had calculated when you all were speaking earlier?
Yes. Well, she kind of explained it to me and everything. So.
And so, ma'am, having heard, well, did you hear my opening statement earlier?
With the dropping it to 350?
Yes, ma'am. Everything that we were going to discuss with the judge today.
Okay. I do have a question. How much time do I have before that hit? Because like I had explained with the lady earlier. Now.
Okay, I'll let the state elaborate on that, ma'am. The norm would be it would start the first day of January since we were just on the 7th of December, but I have discretion to maybe kick it to February, but I need to have the state expand your testimony from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Moody, as far as the numbers, well, because those were explained to you, you understand what we're looking at currently, correct?
I do, but I don't feel like y'all look at the bills because I don't make that much.
Here's the deal, ma'am. We don't. Texas,
yes,
some states, the legislature set up, they can look at bills, they can look at different things. Texas decided to go with a straight percentage and they said this is the fair amount. And I'm sorry, but the guys down in Austin tell me what I have to do. Now the state the state will go ahead and expand and see if there's any special circumstances that fits your situation. That's not the norm, okay? And if there's something that normal and is definitely financially required, I can take a look at that. But other than that, the fact that it appears that the child support should be $500, and Dad will really agreeing to somewhere like almost a 30% drop. Yeah. I rarely go down more than 30% on anything when I'm dealing with these cases, but I'm gonna let the state expand that information, ma'am. I was just letting you know how it normally works. You may proceed, Ms. Bongat.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so, Ms. Moody, was I correct in stating to the court that you were interested in entering the NCP Choices program?
Yes,
ma'am. And as far as your current work, ma'am, are you already employed fully or full-time?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. And currently, are you hourly or salaried?
Hourly.
Okay. And then going forward, you're looking for something that will pay you a bit more.
If it's out there, I'll take it, but I doubt it.
Yes, ma'am. And so at this point, ma'am, were you wanting the court, or were you in agreement with Dad that your temporary support should be $350 with us revisiting that amount at final hearing?
I mean, honestly, do I even have a choice? Because what I
Oh, ma'am,
said
this is the time to say what you want to say. That's why I'm asking your opinion.
I mean, he know how hard it is for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how hard it is for him. You know, I have a single income household with the two youngest ones. I know you have a double income household and your stuff is not as much as mine. And I give you my son's smaller clothes to get to your other child. So like we had already came to agreement before we even stepped in court. How many weeks ago? A couple of weeks ago, through his mom.
Ma'am, I'm gonna stop you now. You're ranting. Here's the deal, ma'am. No agreement you two can make can circumvent what the law requires me to do. It is, you know, it's just like you and he could agree to speed down I-35 at 90 miles an hour, but guess what? Those guys in that black and white car are gonna say no. Okay, it's the law, and
It's not fair, bro.
all right, ma'am. Thank you.
You can go ahead.
Ms. Moody. Yes, ma'am. You had mentioned some bills. I know in your last statement you were talking about the needs of your two minor children. Are either of those children considered disabled?
No, ma'am.
With your home, is it one that you own or that you're renting?
I rent.
And then as far as the rest of your monthly expenses, do you have something out of the ordinary besides, you know, vehicle, gas maintenance, or just the normal home utilities, food?
Got the lights, water, the extra food when there are no more food stamps, the rent that's $11.50 when they need clothes, when they need shoes, when they need medicine. That's it.
Okay. And as far as time, ma'am, for this court to allow you to work with NCP choices and hopefully find better employment, did you have a preference as to how soon we come back?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Was there anything else you wanted the court to consider at this time?
Not at all.
Thank you, Ms. Moody. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, ma'am. Again, based on the testimony and based on the what the father's willing to agree to, again, yeah, your rent's high. That's high. And like I said, the norm is the judge knocks down things. If I find that there are extraordinary expenses, I go down 20, 30, 25%, and the father's already agreeing to 35% less, ma'am. So I'm gonna have to go with that for right now. I'll go ahead and find that there has been a change of circumstance. The child support should go up to $350 a month on a temporary basis. I will start that new child support amount the first day of February to give you some time to get your ducks in a row as far as being able to with the budget, that the fact that looks extra 150 is going to start coming out at that date. I'm probably looking at bringing you back in March, ma'am, or let me see if I got any April dates. To give you time to see whether or not you can find something. What do you do for a living right now, ma'am?
I work at some at Solomon. I test on transformers and generators, stuff like that.
And how much do you earn? Your salary or hourly, ma'am?
Hourly. I make $20.50.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully there's NCP choices to help you find something closer to $25 an hour that you can transition into. But I'm sorry, Zoom makes me use their calendar and not mine. So here we go. All right, I've got a Tuesday, April 23rd date. So that's a good 120 days out. Gives you plenty of time to see what you can find one way or the other, ma'am, to get something going a little bit better. Like I say, it's April 23rd at 9. Right now, I'm looking at making those dockets 9:15 a.m. Do you have any problem making it here on that date, ma'am, for a virtual hearing?
No, sir, I have plenty of time to take off, so I should be fine.
All right. Mr. Davis, any problem with that date, sir?
No, no, sir.
All right, then I'll go ahead and do that and we'll come back on that date. And you can put in there right now, Ms. Moncada, I'm going to waive court costs no matter what in this case, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, folks, let's go ahead and do a temporary order. I'm going to do a reset for Tuesday, April the 23rd at 9:15 a.m. I will see y'all then. And any questions, Ms. Moody?
One more question. You said the payments will start when? February?
February 1st. So those for, yeah. So when, by the time we come back, you'll have to make the payments for February, March, and April, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
No problem, ma'am. Mr. Davis, any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right. See everybody in April. Thank y'all all very much. Everybody have a safe and happy holiday and take care of those kids. All right.
You
Thank
too, and happy early birthday.
Yeah, and happy. Let's see how the Steelers and the Patriots actually play football tonight. How's that? So.
You see my heart?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Well, I'm again, ma'am. I'm sorry about your team, but I'm a Cowboy fan, and I haven't been yet. So yeah.
See, this was given to me when I first came here because I drive forklifts as well. I'm a Cowboys fan too as well.
Okay, then.
It was free.
We'll see. We'll see if we both end up disappointed or elated this year. Okay, that's the great thing about football. We got another. There's always the next week. So.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Look at this shit.
As far as free to go, right, Ms. Mongat? I'm sorry.
Yes, they are, Your Honor.
All right, y'all free to go, and I'll finish writing this one up, and I'll be and I'll see what's next. It's 2:30. The judge will be looking at taking a lunch break here. So let's see. I got a stack, and it's already 2:30. Let's see.